Hey everybody, meteorologist Mike Griffith here for East Coast Weather Authority. It is about 10 minutes to 6, 5:50 p.m. on January 19th, and we're looking at a large storm system here across the East Coast that's moving up into the Northeast, but it's bringing some severe weather with it, including some destructive tornadoes down here in Alabama. This line right here is rather dangerous, and even in the eastern Tennessee, there's been some severe reports on the southern flank of this system. What will happen is this storm system will continue to track east, but these severe storms are going to push northeastward into the Carolinas overnight tonight. So we could get a rumble of thunder, some heavier rains, and then on Sunday, especially Sunday afternoon, the winds are going to pick up out of the northwest, and we're going to start to cool off, and we're going to get cold, actually, as we go into Monday morning. So right now, this storm system is going to continue to push into the northeast. A lot of areas in the a lot of neighborhoods in the Philly area are going to receive more rain than snow, and a lot of the forecasts in this area here are going to bust because of this warm surge of air coming up from the south down here. This is all rain right in here, and this has been pushing up this direction, so it's not really cold enough to get enough snow in the Philly area yet. Notice out here in the upper plains, upper Midwest, this purple stuff, it's very cold air. As cold air is going to continue to push eastward on the IR satellite right here. This is all infrared imagery. This brighter ground right here, maybe lower clouds, is going to be colder air trying to push in from our west as well. And we're looking at the European model right now as we go into Sunday. We're looking at the cold air starting to take over by Sunday morning around 8 a.m. We're using the European model right now because of the U.S. government shutdown. There's not really a lot of reliability or quality control with the U.S. models right now, so we're going to have to go with the Euro model for now. And here we go, Monday morning. It's going to be ice cold, bitter cold here in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. The temperature anomalies well below normal, and you can see on the scale here they're almost pegged down to 20 standard deviations below zero here, meaning this is just standard deviations below normal. This isn't temperature, but this is just going to be really cold as we go into Monday, the 21st of January. Let's take a look at the current weather, though, before we start talking about the longer range. The big story right now is this storm system in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. Mostly all rain all the way up into Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh right now. There is some snow in the backside of this system, but not a whole lot. This is going to be a lot bigger of a bust than most people realize. It's just starting to close in on the Philly area, the southeast suburbs. The heavier rain and storms starting to close in on western Carolinas, including the upstate of South Carolina and Charlotte. All this snow right here is going to be for the folks up in the middle of the mountains in Pennsylvania, all the way up in the Northeast. It's going to get pushed all the way up into this area here. Right here, it's hard to say what it's going to do. It might start as snow and then change over to rain because the way the air is moving, it's going to erode away all the cold air aloft and at mid-levels, and it's probably just going to be more rain than snow. But it just could be a messy, nasty Saturday night and early Sunday there. Not really a whole lot to write home about, not a whole big deal, maybe like no more than a half an inch or so in the Philadelphia suburbs. But more out there in south central Pennsylvania and up into the mountains, of course, in the higher elevations. This whole area down through here is going to be windy, and then it's going to be a windswept rain as this more intense bands of showers and thunderstorms start to push in from the west later tonight, Saturday night into early Sunday. So be aware for this big change coming as it's going to get a lot colder. And now we can start to look at some of the longer range information here. This is from the National Weather Service. This is Monday during the day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. These are the projected wind chill values, combination of the wind and the really cold temperatures moving in on Monday. Valid at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it looks like this is just going to be bone-chilling cold anywhere north of this dark blue line into the purple here. So all the way up in the Midwest and the Ohio Valley and up into Pennsylvania and the Northeast, New York City, all the way up into New England. Very, 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 very cold. It's not going to feel very comfortable in this area up here. It's still going to be very, very bitter feeling down here into the Carolinas, even in the Charlotte, looking like maybe wind chill values in the single digits or even low teens. Down in the Charleston, wind chill values are 24, so it's going to feel cold down in there. 25, the real feel on Monday down in Savannah. All the way down into Florida, the deep south, below freezing wind chill values. Even into Miami, it's going to feel like 49 degrees. as we go into the day on Monday. Let's talk about what all the big talk is about the severe outbreak towards the end of the month here, according to the Euro model. We had posted an article about this earlier, and there comes the blast next weekend, a week from today. This is extremely cold temperatures for much of the eastern half of the United States. This is going to change. This is going to bounce around from one solution to the next as far as the extensiveness of the cold. But this is looking like it's going to be rather nasty. Single digits at nighttime for the lows down here in the south, and maybe even close to zero here in the northeast. So this is going to be a very, very dangerous situation as we head into next weekend. And it just lingers. It just doesn't go away. Maybe another reinforcing shot on Monday the 28th. It's not looking too warm, folks, and that's going to be a very, very big concern of ours, as this could be a cold wave, a severe cold wave to start next week. Now, let's take a zoom out here and look at the big picture across the North American continent. And we can start to see a little bit of warming, some blocking maybe starting to take place as it moves up into Greenland. It's going to be very favorable for winter storms to take a southerly track across the southeast United States. But the thing is that can we actually get that? And if we can, then there's going to be a southern snows threat as we go into later this week, maybe Thursday or Friday next week or so. That would be around the 24th, maybe 25th or so. And it's going to be more of a threat there. We can take a look at that right here. Right here is next Friday. Here comes that's cold. Okay, so there could be a storm signal in here Thursday into Friday next week, according to the Euro, especially for the deep south. If there's any type of surface low pressure that can get going along the southern Gulf Coast, that's going to be some big news for Atlanta and Charlotte, as we could get another winter storm down here in the southeast later next week. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, looking like a very, very severe cold wave outbreak. Finally, real winter is here as we go into the 28th and 29th, but it's going to start to feel a lot more like winter itself after Sunday this week, tomorrow, and then Monday. And then that's going to kind of moderate a little bit, and then we're going to get into later next week with the snow threat, and then next weekend is the severe cold outbreak that we must get ready for. Get the firewood, make sure your heaters are in good working order, and overall just have a plan of safety, especially for you and your animals. So plan for cars not to start, all kinds of inconveniences, and just be ready for it. Whatever you can think of when a severe cold wave breaks out, especially as we go into the end of this month. That's all I got for now. Meteorologist Mike Griffith, you're here on YouTube. Make sure you please subscribe to this channel. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and it helps us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers just to help our channel grow. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel if you are viewing this. It would help us out greatly. Thank you so much. Mike Griffith for East Coast Weather. I'll see you later.